Hey guys, it's Rob. Responding to Michael B. the Game Genie's top 3 worst video games that he still enjoys playing. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick video on that. For people who don't know me, haven't really communicated much with the community video game wise, but comic book wise I tend to do a lot. A lot of people in the comic book community know me as RC3 Art, but I do collect video games, especially retro video games, and I enjoy watching people play them. I picked up on Michael B's channel really early on and started collecting some older games and stuff as I watched him collecting games, and glad to see him come back to the community. I'd like to hop in and throw my 2 cents in. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my top 3 video games that are bad and that I really enjoy playing. I enjoyed playing them as a kid. So first one I'm going to go with is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Or, well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or that one. Oh man, there was just so much nostalgia for Ninja Turtles back in the day. As a kid, you enjoyed playing the game, you enjoyed the characters, Leonardo, Michelangelo. There was just so much life to this type of these characters in this game. Yeah, it was hard. I will not debate it. It is a hard game, but there was just so much fun to it. It just kept on bringing me back. When many other people gave up and just went on with their everyday lives and said this is just a garbage game and hung it up on the shelves and let it collect dust, I just couldn't put it down. I fought for hours and hours and hours to beat that stupid damn stage, and it was a hard stage, and it's a hard game. I've still yet to beat it, but there's just something about it, the music and the fun and the art and just the way it was back in the day. It was a lot of fun. As much as many people debate it, there was way too much fun in this game that had to be, just there. What else do you need? You have the Turtles, you have all 4 of them. Unfortunately, right there, I've lost one of them, but, you have all of them. You have April, you have the main characters. Yeah, the bad guys you run across aren't great, but, you just gotta have fun with it. Go have some turtle power. Number 2, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Now this was a game that I didn't originally own until I was a little bit older, but I rented this thing. Oh man, I rented this thing like crazy, weekends and weekends at a time. I just love playing this game, and don't get me wrong, I know that a lot of people they rank the other Castlevania games much higher than this one, just because some people they don't like the fact that it was different. It's a non-linear game. You have to run around, you have to buy crystals and other random items in the game with heart currency, which was kind of an odd, currency, but I understood it. Kind of stuck with the theme of Castlevania. Yeah, your character wasn't super powerful or picked up, anything super crazy until later on, but it was all kinds of fun. And the differences between night and day, it's just, things just got so much harder at night, and this game introduced a whole bunch of new aspects to my gameplay that I never was used to. The RPG style platformer. If you didn't play a whole lot of the second Legend of Zelda, you didn't really get into the whole RPG platformer. And one of the big things that the RPG platformer had, and still a lot of them have to this day, is the the really consistent amount of grinding that you had to do. And you needed those hearts. You needed them. You needed a ton of them just to pick up some of the items that you needed. And you eventually had to get into this grind fest like I'm doing right here. You just had to, sometimes you just had to find a really good spawn point and run back and forth and 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 give me your hearts, give me your heart, give me your heart, give me your heart, give me your hearts, give me your hearts, give me I want to, and then eventually in the morning would come and you could go rest up at the local chapel and heal up and go out on your adventure to try and resurrect and kill Dracula. There was a lot of fun story to this game. Yeah, the translation was done really badly, but if you read the manual, and you could really have a lot of fun with this game. I enjoyed Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest a lot. And number 3, one that I haven't seen on many people's lists of anything really, other than being really, really hard and pretty tough. And that is The Empire Strikes Back. Oh, what can I say about Star Wars Empire Strikes Back? And not only is it one of my favorite movies of all time, but it was just such an interesting game. Unlike any other game I'd played, the amount of adventure that was added to it, the amount of challenge. Some of these bad guys, just the basic bad guys could just wreck your world. These little guys just, they could really mess you up. And until you learned and figured out what you needed to do, the game just starts you in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, figure it out. And unless you read the instruction manual, it was hard to find different things. You eventually had to, you had to find your way to your lightsaber. And once you got the lightsaber, the game definitely became easier, but it still was not the easiest game in the world. You had to make sure, keep an eye out for, hearts and health, and just things were not easily killed, especially with your blaster. That blaster was just terrible, but it was useful for some things. And then, of course, you have these wampas, which they just bent over and took it. Just bend over and just took it. Just took it. Yeah, just took it. And the guys just had so much health. Look at this. This is a lightsaber. If I did the blaster, I'd be sitting here for forever. Forever. It was such a fun game. There's just a lot to it. There are a ton of stages. It was really difficult. There's a lot of glitches, but it was just nostalgic. It was a lot of fun. You got to beat the crap out of things with lightsabers. What else could you do? Except for running around trying to find force powers. Give me force powers. Oh. And then you had the robots and things, and it was just fun swinging around the lightsaber. I'm just gonna tell you, that was my favorite part. That and a couple of the battles were fun, but it was just so much fun just to be able to take on Luke and shut up. So guys, there's my list of my 3 games. I know the Angry Video Game Nerd, which I know a number of people started off watching videos with him, and I did too a long time ago. But I know that a lot of people would guess those first 2 were actually some of the first ones that he actually reviewed and kind of dumped on, per se. I enjoyed them a lot as a kid. They are incredibly tough. I remember spending hours and hours and hours just trying to get past the dam on Ninja Turtles or the first stage in Empire Strikes Back, both of which are really, really tough, especially when you're a kid. But I enjoyed them. I came back to them over and over again. I enjoyed the challenge. I never actually got to beat the game per se for either one. I think the furthest I ever made with Ninja Turtles is I made it to Technodrome, and as for Star Wars, I believe I made it past the 3rd or 4th stage, but it just gets harder and harder. As for Simon's Quest, that's an easy game to beat. It's just it was a little tough when you were younger because you just didn't know where to go until you pulled out an issue of Nintendo Power or had a buddy that you could borrow it from. It was an exciting time though, but I enjoyed those a lot. There's a whole lot of other games I like to play that are probably bad,
just because I enjoy playing them. I like to see what they're like. So, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for watching. My name's Rob Carter, RC3. You guys have a good one, and thanks a lot.